Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Reports have surfaced that Prince Harry has gone into defense mode as usual and I think this is defending Meghan, and he's taken all the blame for Megxit, and he's slammed Megxit and essentially said that Megxit is got absolutely nothing to do with Meghan. It has everything to do with him, and it has everything to do with the way in which he was fed up of being famous for a long time. Essentially, he grew up in front of the cameras. We know that he said in South Africa that he was struggling with the fame, he was struggling with the media intrusion, and Meghan didn't really say much. She was trying to galvanize sympathy from the interviewer, who didn't really understand how a multi-millionairess who has been introduced to this very elaborate 5-star lavish lifestyle could be complaining about a few newspaper reports. It goes on to say here, Prince Harry made a decision to quit the royal family, not Meghan Markle, the new biography claims. So the new biography is going to try and attempt to, for £20, for all of those who have £20 to spend, which is around $30, to inquire as to the real reason as to why Meghan and Harry left the royal family. He wants £20 to explain himself. Is going to essentially say that Harry is the driving force behind this Megxit. Harry is the one who wanted to leave. Now, I think that you can love bomb someone, and like I said, I hate to use the word narcissistic, but I believe that love bombing has happened to Harry in a sense that he now believes her ideas are his ideas. Harry could have, if Harry was so miserable with his public life and Harry really wanted to step away from his public life, he would not have allowed Meghan to have that £32 million wedding. He would have wed her as she was. He would have revoked his titles and HRH on his own. There would have been no fight to keep it. It doesn't really make any sense, does it? Because on the one hand, and this is what I've seen a couple of people's comments, on the one hand, the Queen had actually initially offered them to be married in LA and to have a private life instead of going down the public route and receiving a title and all the rest of it. The Queen actually tried to come up with this deal with them. From the outset, there was this questioning and querying as to whether this individual wanted to do the job or could be bothered to do the job. So that was a clear sign from the outset that Megxit actually was never really interested in doing the job. So you have that on the one hand. And then they go ahead, and she said, allegedly, her famous words were, "Oh, I'm going to hit the ground running and I'm going to get into the role," and da-da-da-da. They go off, they start bleeding the taxpayer dry. When they have these royal weddings, they're extremely expensive. We pay for it. They bleed us dry, and then they trash us. They trash the media. They basically essentially trash the country. They act like we wasn't good enough. They start screaming racism after millions of pounds have been spent on them. This lady wore a £200,000 or £300,000 dress, and they want to be private individuals. This has all happened in the wake of Meghan. Now, I know that with all best intention, Harry's trying to make Meghan look good, because essentially, if they don't clear up her image, she doesn't have a career in Hollywood. Her career is pretty much over before it's begun. So this is what I think this is all about. I think they have put this book together with the control of Meghan to save and salvage the shreds of respect that she has, which isn't that much. We know only the Sugars really care about Meghan. No one else is really interested in what she's doing right now. We're all fed up. It carries on to say, the source told The Sun that word Megxit in particular has always angered Prince Harry. It gives the impression that the decision to walk away from the royal family was Meghan's. The reality is Harry drove that decision The book will make that clear and explain why it happened. The truth is Harry had been unhappy for a long, long time. Now, we did see over the years Harry struggling with his fame and his fortune and the various mess-ups that he had. He hashed up quite a lot, didn't he? During his time as a senior royal, he was caught red-handed and not looking in his best light. So I can see that, but I don't think he became as unhappy as he was when Meghan joined the royal fold. So it carries on to say, Meghan supported Harry's decision, but there was more than one occasion where she asked him if he was certain it was what he wanted. I find this hard to believe. I really just find this hard to believe. She flew all the way to America to have her baby shower. She didn't attempt to really do anything British. She hardly looked like someone who was trying. She was breaking royal protocol. She couldn't be bothered to meet Donald Trump, which is a part of the royal responsibility. She didn't do it, did she? Carries on to say here, and she had always made it clear she would support him in whatever he did. The only person who really stands to benefit from this Megxit is Meghan. I find this all a bit contrived. I don't believe it for a second, and I definitely do not believe something in a book that cost me it's going to cost me £25 to read. I just don't believe it. It carries on to say here, promotional material on Amazon says the authors had unique access written with the participation of those closest to the couple. Finding Freedom is an honest, up-close and disarming portrait of a confident, influential and forward-thinking couple. They don't really seem to be forward-thinking. They just seem to be the classic, the rich take from the poor and keep it all for themselves, don't they? Chartering private planes, Meghan having extremely expensive jewellery, extremely expensive clothes, not giving much back, complaining in front of poor people. It's just a no-no. So it carries on to say, the couple had hoped to continue supporting the Queen while earning their own money, but the idea was deemed unworkable amid fears they would be accused of cashing in on their royal status, which is the very thing that they are doing. We know that they would not be sitting in Tyler Perry's house or chartering any private planes if they wasn't cashing in on their royal status. No one would be sending a private plane for those two. So it carries on to say, Harry addressed the move in an emotional speech at a charity event in January. Harry said, once Meghan and I were married, we were excited and we were hopeful and we were here to serve. No, you wasn't. You were serving yourself. Both of you was. Then he carries on to say, for those reasons, it brings me great sadness that it has come to this. The decision that I have made for my wife and I to step back is not one I made lightly. Being the one who is breaking away from and disrespecting their family, he would have to take that on his shoulders, wouldn't he? It was so many months of talks, after so many years of challenges. What, 18 months? It was 18 months, Harry? You was married to Meghan for 18 months. Let's not talk about years. You was married for a year and a few months. Carries on to say, and I know I've gotten it. I haven't always gotten it right. But as far as this goes, there really was no other option. No, Harry, you just simply couldn't. You couldn't be bothered. You wanted out. You wanted to please your wife. You wanted to give her everything she wanted. You wanted to give her the Hollywood dream. And you're trying to cash grab that Hollywood dream for yourself. I just think that this is all a way in which, I think it's part of PR to actually get us to pick up the book, to really try and understand what happened. As we're doing that, they are becoming financially independent. Meghan is becoming financially independent because work is thin on the ground right now. We know that we are in lockdown and therefore there's not much for the two of them to do, is there? They want that money. They need that money. They need to get free of Charles. They need to get free of the responsibility to the taxpayers. They don't necessarily want to pay us back because we know they have that ridiculous 11-year payment plan, which I think is all a farce. I think it's all just been put out there to make it look good. Why are they taking so long to pay for £2.4 million, which is absolutely nothing to people like Meghan and Harry? Harry has a very sizable inheritance. He gets enough money from the duchy, from Charles, to just pay it back in 6 months. But they have this 11-year payment plan, which it's just an insult, isn't it, really, to us? Especially to me as a British taxpayer. I feel very slighted, very insulted. And I think that this report has come out because they need us to buy that book. They want our money. I don't know if I'm going to buy the book. I think I probably should for research purposes. But yeah, that's it, guys. There you have it. The Megxie and the Harry. They've been on a media rant again, especially Harry. It's always him, isn't it? He heads these rants and Meghan follows. What do I really think? I think it's a PR stunt. That's what I personally think. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go and I'll be back with another video. Bye, guys.